Okay, in this part of the video series, now we're going to discuss what's known as Shoryuken's prison. This is a video that was made for, I guess, a quote-unquote corner setup. And it is, if we can get a laptop here, I want to read exactly what was said in this particular video before I get on to what I'm going to do, because I don't want to misquote anybody or anything like that. Okay, so I have here a laptop. I'm now going to testyourmic.com, and I'm not trying to put anyone on blast here, but I just don't want to misquote anybody. So the best way to not misquote anyone, I have witnesses here that are we're gonna hear the video of Shoryuken's prison. It's of course on the front page of Test Your Mic, so you can't miss it. Now, I'm looking for some new tech, so if I'm a Sub-Zero player and I'm going to test your mic and I want to discuss the setup of Shoryuken's prison, like I said, I don't want to put any words in anyone's mouth, so I want to make sure that I get the setup exactly correct. So let's see, as I'm going through, let's see the front page here. There's actually two threads about Shoryuken's prison, so I'll go to the original thread made in the Sub-Zero forums. It was a video, I believe it was done by, two guys did it, and I'll explain the premise of it. Basically, the premise of it is Shoryuken's prison is supposed to be whenever you end your combo with 2-2-2, and then you do an air clone, they can't jump forward, and you do, you can't jump up or back, and then you do, EX ground freeze, and they get caught in the prison unless you have meter. Well, most characters apparently cannot escape it. Okay, so I'm reading the post here. It says, new corner ice puddle trap that works on the majority of the cast when they have no meter and are against the corner. Credit to Shoryuken for bringing it to my attention. I tested it with Detroit for a while, and some characters can escape even if they have no meter, like Raiden with the teleport, for example. You can't jump back or neutral jump as the enhanced ice puddle lasts too long, and it will still catch you on the way down. Now, basically, the premise, I want everyone to pay attention to this video because I'm gonna listen to what it says here.
So a new Sub-Zero wall trap has been brought to Detroit and our attention.
It says a new wall trap has been brought to the attention.
Wall trap will be referred to as a Shoryuken prison. This is one you do a knockdown Sub-Zero against a corner, and you do an instant air clone afterwards, and then you step right behind the clone and you do an enhanced puddle. And if your opponent has no meter, they are fucked because they won't be able to jump forward because...
All right, stop right there. This clearly said the opponent cannot jump forward, correct?
Yep.
Everybody heard that. It says you're fucked because the opponent cannot jump forward. And to all the witnesses, what character are they doing this on?
Johnny Cage.
What character are they doing it on?
Johnny Cage.
Okay, on Johnny Cage. So I'm going to go over all the examples here because I don't want to get any inaccurate information. Okay, so let's keep going here.
Because they'll land on the ice puddle and get frozen. So basically, there are some characters that can escape this no matter what. Like, Raiden can always teleport. Melina can downfall into the clone. Katana can probably out, things like that. But overall, if you get caught in the corner with no meter, and you get put against Shoryuken prison, you're done. Because you can eat a 50% reset. And Detroit will showcase that right now. So let's say I have no meter.
Okay, he just said say he has no meter, correct? You heard that, right? He said say I have no meter. You heard that,
Yes.
right? He said say I have no meter. And for the record, everyone, what two characters are on the screen? Johnny Cage and Sub-Zero. So say I have no meter.
Doesn't this snare clone? You can't jump out because then he gets a combo no matter what.
Can't jump out, he gets a combo no matter what.
Stay grounded, I would get hit by the ice puddle. So, in other words, there is no escape to this.
There's no escape. Okay, so let's just see. So we're going to do the exact same setup here. Okay? So now we're going to go over the same situation. Where's my pen at? So now we're going to say I have no meter here. Say you have no meter. You're a Johnny Cage player, and I'm going to put you in Shoryuken's prison, and you have no meter. Same setup, 2-1-4. 2-2-2. Air clone. Oh, wait a minute. You see my block button is R2. I could not block the shadow kick there. Let me get this straight. The video I just showed previously shows the point of 222 clone. As long as I do it grounded, I can block attacks like this on the ground. In doing the air clone, because it takes me time to recover then jump and clone, I can't recover in time to block. I don't care how low you put this air clone, you will not be able to block the regular shadow kick. The invincibility will go right through the ice clone, and I will not be able to block the shadow kick. So in the exact example that was used, Johnny Cage versus Sub-Zero, even if he had no meter, he's still going to get out of Shoryuken's prison. So let's look at some other ways to get out of Shoryuken's prison here. I mean, that's just a wake-up attack. I mean, that might take a degree of guessing, let's assume. So let's look at some other ways out of Shoryuken's prison here. Does the clone... Wait a minute, hold on a minute. And I lost a bar... What kind of prison is this? Wait a minute. I set up the prison. The character got up and threw a slow projectile, and he got out of the prison. So, sometimes you can actually try to do the ground freeze too fast, trying to beat out the fireball, which you can't do. And you'll actually block the fireball and still lose the bar of meter anyway with the meter drain glitch. Okay, so maybe these two things were overlooked, okay? But in the video, everybody clearly heard you say you cannot jump forward out of this, right? You cannot. There is a certain tester in Chicago back in February named Bill Menutis who used to have some really messed up setups where you could not get out of the corner with clones and ground freezes. And I was thinking, wow, how are they doing Shoryuken's prison when they took those traps out? Because the players that said you can't jump forward forgot one thing. It would have been pretty good because maybe those two things, maybe guys don't think about the regular wake-up attack or the fireball. But you heard you can't jump out of Shoryuken's prison. So let's see here. Wait, hold on a minute. How did he get through the clone? Does anybody know how he got through the clone? First of all, that was the jump kick. He could have done a jump-in punch and punished me with full combo. Let me show you how he got through the clone. See, when I have a clone on the screen, I do a ground freeze. The clone will disappear at a certain point. And this is because of setups I used to do in Chicago when I was testing the game in very early beta, where you actually did have setups that were inescapable. And I guess it wasn't called Shoryuken's prison back then. I guess it was called Tom Brady's prison. But they took that out of the game. So in reality, when you say things like they can't jump out of the corner, you really have to be able to test, this kind of tech, because you can kind of put bad information out there. And this is not to blow anybody up. I'm just going by the exact words that were used in the video. These aren't even my words that I'm blowing up.
Where are the guards in this prison?
Where are the guards? Exactly. Where are the guards in this prison? Let me tell you what kind of prison this is. And I'm going to use the Matrix quote here. This is not a prison that you can see or taste or touch. This is a prison for your mind. There are so many ways out of this. What kind of jail? What kind of jail is this? So this is going over Shoryuken's prison. The players obviously didn't test it thoroughly enough, and I'm not trying to blow the players up here. I'm just saying that there are so many ways out of this. It's just really bad. And no offense to anyone that made it, it's probably the single worst piece of information in fighting game history ever put out there by a top fighting game player. This is the equivalent to, I don't know if people play Street Fighter, you making this crazy tech video in Street Fighter and saying there's no way out, and you can get out of it with a wake-up dragon punch. That is the equivalent. So, not trying to blow anybody up for this video, but to quote Monday Night Football, come on, man.